The dynamic between Momo and Okarun, that to me is more surprising.
What does Demon Slayer mean to you?
I have had opportunities that I never dreamed of.
Do you have a favorite Marvel character?
I'm a fan of Doctor Strange, weirdly.
What has been your favorite thing about Magik?
I do like the ultimate, behold, that child! Magik doesn't have any interactions with Jeff. We need to fix that.
Last year, you have like 7 TV shows or animes specific that came out last year alone, which is insane. And you've been like part of 10 plus years of voiceovers, and you've done so many different roles. When you look back at all the work that you've done, like how do you like look back, and what has it been like for you being in this industry alone?
Yeah, it's crazy to think that it's been about 10 years since I moved to LA, and like I started working in voiceover basically full time, putting all my focus into voiceover. Yeah, wow. I did a convention this past weekend, and during one of our panels, we were pulling up IMDb's and kind of scrolling through them, and it's crazy to do that and see like all of the things that I've had the opportunity to do, and it's still very I hate the word surreal. I use it too much, but it feels very surreal to kind of look at my career, where I started, and like how many things I've done since then. It's awesome.
One of the shows that came out last year as well is Dandadan, which is awesome. I'm watching; it's wonderful, and you've done such a great role, Momo Ayase. Do you ever get surprised, even at this point, with all the stories and the context of the stories? Because especially for Dandadan, never expected the ghost and alien coming together, and enemies wanting bananas. So, do you ever get surprised?
Yeah, I do get surprised still, and more surprising than the banana watching aliens, is the dynamic between Momo and Okarun. That to me is more surprising because as a shonen, I mean, I classify it as a shonen anime, but it's more than that. It's so many different types of anime kind of converged into one. But for a shonen anime, it is very different and it feels different. And we have a protagonist, the male protagonist, but we also have Momo as like the female protagonist. She very much drives the story. And the romance between the two of them also feels very new and surprising for a shonen. So yeah, I am still surprised, especially by Dandadan.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I love the relationship, like you mentioned, because I've seen a character like Momo. I've talked to them, and I am that Okurun. So it's really relatable both ways. How much is Ayase relatable to you?
I really relate to Momo in a lot of ways. First of all, the whole anime just brings me back to high school and
Yes.
all the feelings. And I relate to Momo in that I, especially during my high school years, had a hard time expressing myself. And Momo kind of has that too. She is quick to anger, sometimes she feels like she can be attacking somebody, but she really just has difficulty expressing her feelings. And Okarun is really good for her in that way. And he kind of, gets her to talk through things. Like we see that scene with her in the water with the Nessie episode where they're yelling at each other, but Okarun doesn't back down. He convinces her to, admit the truth of what's going on. So yeah, that kind of stunted self-expression I relate to. And I think that's probably why I got into acting, is because it helps me express my emotions. And it was an outlet for me where I didn't know how to express them in real life.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard that so many times, and it's so cool that you get to do that, and you get to then voice these characters, and people get to see, and then people get to come to conventions, and you get to see fan arts and cosplays and number of various different things. These conventions are so amazing. What has been your kind of like wildest experience, or something that you remember the most from any of these conventions so far?
Yeah, conventions are a whole other aspect of this industry that I didn't even know about. Or I guess maybe when they weren't quite what they are now, I think. Like
Right.
in the last 10 years, I think they've evolved into something pretty extraordinary that people dressing up like the cosplay has gone to a whole new level. I love seeing people, making their own stuff. And um, it's just like, it's something that I never thought that I would have the opportunity to do. Somebody wants my autograph. Like, that's still crazy to me. And the fact that these conventions are willing to fly me there to see people, and I get to meet a lot of fans from not just around the United States but around the world. I've gotten to go to New Zealand, Australia, Scotland, Dubai, Qatar. Like, it's crazy the opportunities that have come up, and it's been really special to see the reception of anime specifically across around the world. It's just such a phenomenon right now. One of the craziest things, though, that happened to me was when we went to Qatar. I say we because I brought my boyfriend, and we were walking around the convention floor, and somebody recognized him from his presence on the internet. And
Wow.
that blew my mind, the fact that this geek culture was shared. Like, they knew him from this show, and it was just, it makes the world feel a lot smaller. And, you see how you share a lot of things with different cultures that you never thought you would. Geeky
Wow.
things like Dungeons and Dragons and
Yes. Oh my god. With Dandadan, it's so cool with the alien and ghost, and obviously Momo loves ghosts. Aokurun loves alien, and that's the kind of like also the connection point. What do you believe in the most, aliens or ghosts?
uh, I think I probably believe more in aliens because I have a hard time imagining the entire universe and we're the only,
Yeah, of
living
course,
organisms. There has to be something, even if
has
it's
to
just
be.
a little microscopic amoeba like something. There has to be an alien out there somewhere.
There has to be, and we know with popular fact that they will attack New York first. So we know they're coming there first. So that's
Yeah,
based
they'll
on the
give us
movies.
that heads up.
Yeah, exactly. Last year, you were nominated for Best Voice Artist Performance for Nezuko Kamado in Crunchyroll Awards, which is awesome. Congratulations to you on that as well.
Thank
Uh,
you.
how has that character meant to you? It's been such a great journey with Demon Slayer. What does that character mean to you?
Nezuko has been the character that really opened up those opportunities that I was talking about for me, where Demon Slayer has been such a phenomenon, worldwide phenomenon, that I have had opportunities that I never dreamed of. Like, we did a partnership with Kura Sushi where we did a little advertisement with them, and like, I got free sushi, which is always good. And like, I flew to Japan last year to go to the Kimetsu fifth anniversary event of Demon Slayer. Um, it's like a festival they have, just Demon Slayer convention, and I got to do a panel with some of the Japanese cast, and see their live stage reading of the show, and just all these things that you never think like that's even an option on the table. It's been really great, and Demon Slayer has been the biggest kind of gateway into all these crazy opportunities.
Right. Yeah. When did you find out like how big this show is and how popular your character has become?
I think it sunk in when I don't know exactly when, but at some point I would be driving around LA and I would just see Nezuko stickers or Demon Slayer stickers, in people's cars everywhere. And I realized that it has permeated the culture, and it's truly it's truly everywhere. I couldn't go into a store without finding like a Nezuko something or a Demon Slayer something. And that, from when I was a kid and I was a fan of anime was not that pervasive, and it was not cool. So you couldn't find anime stuff. I had to go to Boston to go to an anime store to look at the anime merch. There was nothing available. And now you go to 7-Eleven and they have, anime themed merch. It's crazy.
Yeah, now we have like anime themed stores, everything. There's anime like right around the corners, like everywhere it's available. And it's so cool, and it's been growing everywhere worldwide. It's so amazing that you've been part of so many wonderful video games. One of them is Marvel Rivals. You play Magic. Were you ever like how aware were you about Marvel? Did you watch movies or comics?
Yeah, so I had seen, I think I've seen every MCU thing that has come out.
Okay.
I've read a few comics here and there. I'm not huge on comics, but I've read some. Um, but yeah, I was aware of Magic, and I'm aware of the Marvel universe, and I definitely have, my favorite characters and stuff.
Okay. So like, I would have to ask, like, who's your favorite character at this point?
I really like Spider-Man,
Yes.
Miles Morales, and Peter Parker, and
Beautiful.
all the Spider people are great. But I'm a fan of Doctor Strange,
Ooh.
weirdly, because I say weirdly because the character, when you describe him to me, sounds like something that I would, he's like this really smart doctor, surgeon, brilliant surgeon. And, he is severely humbled and then has to like basically relearn all of his knowledge. So I read a comic book for Doctor Strange, and that was what really made me love the character. And then I saw the movies and I was on board because magical
Yes.
things. Um, but yeah, when you think about it, it's like this arrogant white guy who like, you know, not my first choice of superhero, but he he learns a lesson and he becomes really cool. So I like Doctor Strange. I like Loki because he's
Ooh.
cheeky and handsome. I love Hella too. Now that I'm thinking of those movies,
Right.
yeah, I don't know. I have a list. It's hard to pick one favorite, you know.
What do you think now at this point that Magic is people playing this character and people have different things that they like about her? What do you think about this character at this point?
I think Magic is really cool. I am lucky to get to voice her. Magic is one of the characters that I don't know as much about actually. But like I don't think I've read any Magic comics yet. Maybe I have to fix that. Um, but I love her, especially in Rivals. I love her attitude of just like she's just like, I've been to limbo, baby. Like I've seen it all. And she's just she's a tough bitch. Love her.
Yeah, definitely. And it has haunted a lot of players' dreams, apparently, which is because like she's so powerful and strong and I love her. And she does say limbo quite a bit. Like, do you like ever thought like, oh, there's so many lines with limbo mentioned in
Limbo.
it? Yeah, everything has to go back to
Right.
limbo.
Limbo. Don't bring it up. Yeah, that's kind of her thing, and I think it's really funny that like she's she just brings it up at every opportunity that she has, to remind people that,
Yeah,
she's been through hell with demons, so you
yeah.
better not forget it.
Yeah, better not forget it. I'll keep on reminding. When you got the role and you got to know that you're playing Magic, like when was that? Like, was that before the session started, or was that on the day of the session that you finally got to know like Magic is the character? This is the game.
Um, I knew when I was auditioning for it what the character was,
All right.
so
So like,
yeah.
so I guess then you have some time to prepare. Did you go to like read comics this time around? Like, how did you go by for this
For
role?
this one, I didn't have a ton of time, I don't think, but I didn't read comics, but I will go and pull, like, I think for Magic, I went online and I just looked. I read a character synopsis. My boyfriend is like comic encyclopedia. So I read the synopsis of, her backstory. And then I look at clips of how she's been portrayed in the, not just Marvel Cinematic Universe, like any cartoons or the X-Men movies and all that stuff, just any portrayal that's existed of her to kind of get a sense of the overall tone of the character and note things that I like about those performances or things that I might tweak. And then I just go in and try to shape my version of it.
We will get back into the conversation in just a few seconds, but I just wanted to let you know that if you're enjoying this episode, consider hitting the like button and also subscribing so that you can watch more episodes just like this every single week. And also hit that notification bell icon so that you don't miss any notification on when the next episode is coming out. And now we will jump back into the conversation. There's one line that I really like is when things get tense, the dark child tends to come out, which is really cool. Is when things get tense for you as Abby, like, is there some sort of dark child that comes out, or like how do you handle that?
Not at all. I wish I had a dark child to come out. No, I'm the person that like avoids conflict at all costs, and when things get tense, I get anxious, and I'm like very, very bad at you know, I would say arguments and such. So
Yeah,
I'm not the dark child type, but I live vicariously through magic, so
there
it's
you go.
okay.
It's okay. It works out. Is there a line that's stuck out to you the most?
I do like the ultimate, the behold, dark child, which I scream.
Yeah.
And then there's one that's like, there's one about the sword. It's so funny. It's like my soul is my sword has a piece of my soul or something. I can't
Yeah,
remember,
right.
but it's really funny. She's like, cool, like my sword is a piece of my soul. I gotta look it up and write it down for next time.
Those lines are very cool when they're the characters conversing with other characters, and they're all obviously people have like some favorites. With this character, she talks in a certain way. With this character, in a certain other way. When you're recording those lines, do you know at that point, like, okay, Magic is talking to someone, or are those just lines at this point?
Well, sometimes it's in the line, like the the character's name will be in the line, like Ororo, um, and then I will be able to tell generally from sometimes from the dialogue, like how Magic feels about that character, because there are different, iterations of the comic books and how Magic might feel about a particular character at a particular time. So what I don't glean from that, I will ask. There's usually some reps who can inform me as to like, yes, this is like you were annoyed by her, and or you are like, I love the way she kind of puts Venom down, where she's just like, oh my god, this guy. It's just like sentiments like that where you can infuse personality, and usually the people from Marvel will help inform that
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, that the conversation is good. Venom is definitely one of them. And she's like, I don't think so. She really likes Venom that much. And she's
Yeah.
like, yeah, whatever, Venom. Sure. Uh, Obviously, the game has like 6 players versus 6 players in terms of like technicality side of things. If Magic is in your team, or like you're playing Magic, like who are the other 5 Marvel characters would you like to be in your team?
So I haven't played the game.
Of course.
So I've seen gameplay, but I'm not sure who I can have on my team if I have Magic. Is it any of them?
Any of them. Yeah, for sure. Any Marvel characters that you know.
Okay. Uh, Doctor Strange,
Of course.
Jeff the land shark. He's so cute.
Yes.
Which I don't think Magic doesn't have any interactions with Jeff
I do not think so. Maybe
yet.
not.
We need to
Hmm,
fix that.
we need to fix
We
that.
need to have
Yes.
Magic cuddle Jeff. Um, can it be anyone that's not in the game?
Sure. Why not? They'll be added then.
They'll be
Okay.
added. Well, let's say Spider-Man. Let's say this is hard. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's hard.
I'm gonna
Yes.
say Loki, Spider-Man, and let me get Hella on there.
Hell yes. Beautiful. What?
My list
Yeah.
that I had earlier.
Perfect. Yeah. And Jeff, perfect cutest. I don't think so anybody will attack him the moment he starts speaking. At least I don't. Uh, if they I know they've played so many characters, and let's just change this thing a little bit. If Magic is in your team, but you have to select 5 other characters, from the all the characters that you have played in the past with animes or
With
games?
anime, oh my gosh, definitely Momo. She's powerful. Nezuko, she's also will kick butt. Yo from Shaman King got some abilities. Um, Let me think. As far as fighting goes, maybe Veronica Leonis from Seven Deadly Sins. I feel like she could mess somebody up.
And you were mentioning that you 10 years ago you came to LA, voice acting was the thing that you wanted to pursue, and I believe you were learning educating yourself in Tokyo as well. So when you found out about like voiceover, is it what was it that got you hooked into this side of acting?
Yeah, so I was a theater major in college. I wanted to be an actor and singer, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. And then I was living in Japan for a while, and while I was there, when I was living in Tokyo, I got to do a little bit of voiceover. So I was auditioning for various things and working as an actor slash singer slash voice actor. Basically, whatever gig I could get is what I was trying to do. And I got to do some promos, and I was in these children's shows. They're musicals for kids to teach English. And they needed some voices for their characters, meaning like we had these puppet characters and also characters that people wore full costumed characters on stage. And they needed some voice matching for those characters, meaning there was already a voice that existed. They needed somebody to kind of match that same voice so they could continue new dialogue. So I auditioned for some of those roles and I ended up booking them. And that's kind of when I really got a taste for doing voiceover as a character and learned that I kind of do have a bit of a skill set when it comes to doing voice matching. And I have a decent ear for that. And it just really made me want to do more. But I felt like the opportunities that I was kind of hungry for at that time were few and far between in Tokyo. There's not a ton of English voiceover in Tokyo. I mean, maybe things have changed in the last 10 years, but yeah, when I was there, there wasn't a lot of, English cartoons and video games and stuff being recorded. So that's
Wow.
when I decided to leave Japan.
Yeah, and it's been a wonderful journey since because you took part in a voiceover competition, which is really cool because you
That's
won that competition, which is insane.
That's
Took
right.
part,
Oh, research.
and it's so cool. A perfect title. It was Bang Zoom hosted it, and the competition, the finalist video is also up on YouTube at the moment. Your audition tape is also up on YouTube that people can watch. What was that competition like? Taking part in that and then winning.
Yeah, that was an interesting experience. So when I first moved back to the States, I started looking for voiceover opportunities online, and one of the things I stumbled upon was this contest called Perfect Idol, hosted by Bang Zoom Entertainment. They're a company that dubs a lot of anime. They record other things too, but this was a specific anime-esque competition focusing on anime voiceover. So I decided to enter the contest, and I tell this story because I was so close to not submitting my video. I recorded everything in like a day because I by the time I found the contest, it was like the next day it was due. So I had to upload a video within like 24 hours. So I recorded, edited, did all this stuff, and I just was like sitting on the video because I was so afraid to upload it that people would judge me and, the internet. I was just terrified. And my brother is the one who I said, like, oh, I don't know. I'm kind of afraid and like this is stupid and maybe I shouldn't do it. And my brother just goes, just do it. Who cares? And I was like, man, you're right. Like I have to try. So I submitted it and then that's what got the ball rolling. And yeah, I didn't expect to win though. That was kind of crazy.
With all the years of work that you've done, when you look back, who was Abby Trott when she first got her voiceover role, and who is she now?
Well, that's an interesting question. I don't know. I hope I'm the same person, but I think I've evolved in that I think I'm a little bit more secure in myself since I've started this journey. And like I've learned a lot by, when you fail all the time, because doing voiceover, you audition all the time and you usually don't book the role. So that's a lot of failure. Um, when you fail all the time, when you read those harsh comments, I think you develop a bit of a thicker skin. And when I started, I did not have that. So I think that's one way in which I've changed for the better, I hope.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that the having a thicker skin, that's something that is ever changing. It develops over years, and some people would tell me you need to have one, and I was like, I have no idea how to get one. So like over time, that definitely develops. There's some fan questions, very few of them. If people wanted to know if you're okay with answering those.
I can try.
All right. First one comes from Katie Kamui. They ask if you had the ability to give Magic a custom voice line that includes a swear word, what would it be?
Swear word. Uh, to limbo, motherfuckers. And I
Beautiful.
would say it that casually too, and just
Mm, that feels like it needs to be now added to the game. I wish it needs to be there. That
no
would be
F
great.
bombs, Marvel Rivals, kids.
Jesus asks, what's your favorite character interaction between Magic and another character in the game?
Oh, yeah, that's tricky. I do like the one with Venom where she's like people are afraid of you or something, and then is it with who is it with? Adam Warlock maybe, where she's like half of my soul is my sword or something. Like the sword comment is really funny to me. I can't remember which reactions. I gotta go back and watch them.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and Warlock. I think that was the one, right? Yeah, yeah. It is.
I
It
love
is.
I love that. She's like so casual about it.
It says like how many characters she, or what are the characters, or who she likes a lot, and who she doesn't like. Whatever this character is, sure. Um. Next question comes from Wade. They ask, have you played the game? You mentioned you haven't, but if you could voice another character besides Magic, who would it be?
Oh. Hmm. Hmm. I do like Mantis. I think she's funny. Oh, you know what? Maybe Squirrel Girl. I think Squirrel Girl
Oh,
would be fun because she's
wow,
like quirky.
she is.
Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, she is definitely a very wonderful character. Love her lines. And I had the chance to talk to Milana, who voices Squirrel Girl in the game too. So it's really wonderful to know what she was thinking on everything and all her lines. Wonderful. I would love to have another alternate version of that, and you playing it would be cool. Um,
Yeah, she's like the perfect Squirrel Girl. I love her. I love her voice too.
yeah, me too. Among us, 9775 asks, what would your advice be for new voice actors today?
My advice would be to try to find the skills that you're good at, that your special talents, things that might make you stand apart, or like things that you are particularly good at, like voice matching, like doing impressions or animal noises or accents or singing, comedy, like hone those skills, because those are all things that will set you apart in an audition, or like make you be able to find your identity as a voice actor, or as an actor. They can help you find those things and stand apart. I feel like I'm rambling now because I'm thinking about two different things. I'm just like stand apart, blah blah blah. And also that every actor is different. So don't try to be like somebody else. Don't find like if you have a role model, that's great, but don't try to emulate them. Just be yourself, which is the most cheesy thing I can say, but you have something to offer that is unique that no one else can bring to the table. So find what that is and offer it.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great advice. I think that's something that I also try to keep reminding myself that I just need to be myself and not others. because then it tends to be I'm imitating that person and not being who I truly am. So it's a great and wonderful advice. Ethan is groovy ask, how many times did you have to say, hey, limbo?
Too many times. Limbo, limbo, limbo. It's all limbo.
Everything is all about the limbo.
Limbo. Not enough. Let's put more
No,
limbo in there.
that's
That's what I
more.
say.
Yeah, more lines are needed for limbo. Yeah. Last question comes from Ryan. They ask, "Can you?" Well, it's gonna be hard, but can you recreate "Behold, Dark Child" voice line?
Behold, dark child. Did I break? Did I break the computer?
Everything is broken. Yeah, it's not responding. No, it's great. It's
I
wonderful.
should have prefaced this by saying I am recovering from a cold too. So
What do you have to say for all the fans all around the world about anime games that you've been a part of?
I just want to thank everybody for, watching this stuff and playing the games, and like just your support has been great. I would like to plug Date Everything, which is the game that's coming out in June. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's
Yes,
real.
of course. Super
Okay.
excited.
Well, I play Shelly the Shelf. So that game is a dating sim. It's very silly. It's coming out in June. It was pushed from February to June. So stay tuned for that. And Dandadan season 2 is out in July, I believe. And then Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, the movie part 1 is out this year at some point. We don't know when yet. So stay tuned for that as well.
Wow, so many things. That's amazing. And you've been to upcoming conventions as well. I think one in March and one in June. I think so.
A bunch.
A bunch.
Yes, I will be at, what is it? I'm going to Maryland this weekend for looking it up. It's KatsuCon.
Yes.
And then I'll be at Main Anime Bangor. So those are my next 2. And then beyond that, there we go. Yeah, those are my next 2. I will try to post my convention schedule on Instagram because I haven't been doing that, and people want to know where I'm going to be. So I'll get on that.